All right. Welcome back to the Let Me Know podcast. We've taken a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back now. The good news is we will be putting out weekly episodes like we were doing before. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the World Cup. We'll be talking a little bit about the Selección Mexicana and the run that they had. But more importantly, we're going to be looking at the future of Fútbol Mexicano and what we think the next 4 years are going to look like under Rafa Márquez. Let's get right into it. All right, so the reason we took a hiatus, I had to handle some family business out in Dallas, Texas, so I've been going back and forth. I had a tragedy strike my family, so, I don't want to get too deep into it and damper this because we actually got a pretty good episode that we're putting together today. So we're definitely going to keep the energy high. I just want you to know, though, that we're moving forward now, so you can go ahead and start tuning in like you were doing just a month ago. The World Cup just finished, already a month ago at this point?
Almost.
Yeah. Damn,
was it
just
on the 19?
Yeah, something like that. So almost about a month ago. So now that the emotions have flown, now that we've had some time to really think about it, watch some highlights, really dissect it, I think it's a good time for us to start really getting into it. Before we get into it, let's take a little bit of a shot, boys, and we could jump into it.
Salud. Cheers.
Salud. Yeah, that one hurt, huh? That was a weird one.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking about it. Bang's probably not the best chaser, bro.
We are going to have an episode, the next episode, where we get a little deeper into dissecting the World Cup, talking about the teams that we like, the players that we like, coming up with the starting 11, looking at the top 10 goals of the World Cup. Really excited to get into those, really excited to put it out there for you guys. But right now, because I do want to spend a little more time talking about the Selección Mexicana, I do just want to take a brief moment and ask you guys, just really briefly, really generally, how did you feel about this World Cup? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? How'd you feel about it? I know that we were talking about it for fucking months, waiting for it to come around, and that shit's over now. That's kind of crazy to think about. But tell me what you guys thought.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
I enjoyed it just because it was the World Cup and the anticipation was crazy.
So it met expectations. It met the hype.
I wouldn't say that, but
I
think the adding more teams, I felt like it did dilute it a little bit.
It did a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't feel the same as last World Cup, like the games or the hype. Or I don't know if that makes sense.
It's hard to explain it. Yeah, I want to say that the concept of a third place team, the best third place teams making it, and then actually adding an extra round. I don't know if diluted is the word. I guess you could say it that way, but no, I think I get what you're saying. It is hard to describe it though.
Yeah.
I think it's just because you saw a lot of teams that probably didn't deserve to get in because they weren't the top two teams in the group. You know what I mean?
Like you lost a little bit of that magic.
Yeah, just a smidge though. But as we started to get a little deeper into the knockout rounds, started to get harder again. Yeah, started to get nicer to watch again for sure.
But I mean, every World Cup I'm gonna be excited no matter what.
Yeah.
And they're talking about adding even more fucking teams into the next World
64?
Cup, which I think is crazy.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
No, it better not. It better not. Let's at least have 4 World Cups with the current, let's at least.
They're already trying to propose it, bro. So
No,
ridiculous.
it's not gonna happen. Plus, the president's gonna get fired.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He fired himself.
Yeah, he
Fucking
did fire
jackass.
himself. Retarded asshole.
But you enjoyed it.
Snake ass motherfucker. Anyways, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Papino?
I enjoyed it, bro. Mexico being a host nation and just seeing the videos of the people like quiere volar, like seeing all that, bro. Like
fucking throwing them up.
Honestly, it should have
bro.
just been Mexico hosting it.
Majority,
Everybody's been saying that.
That's where all the hype was at.
Exactly.
And the games here, it was just like, sure.
Yeah,
World Cup,
bro.
They were cool.
And in Mexico, you had like true soccer culture.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
The passion.
They know how to host the fucking World Cup.
Yeah,
bro.
We've done it twice already.
Exactly.
I heard players, coaches, and just people, the average watcher alike, all say it should have been done in Mexico.
Yep.
Everybody was just thinking that way, bro. It just feels like too monopolized being here in the U.S., the idea of it being in Canada, USA, and Mexico, I think is pretty cool. But the games that were in Mexico just had better vibes. Even the announcers, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And, but the fan base, you were hearing. I was starting to hear the puto.
Yeah.
That shit was making its way back, bro.
Yes.
Like, oh, here we go.
Didn't
And
care.
then I didn't notice this until you guys said it. But in certain games, you were hearing games that weren't even Mexico. You would hear the fans, Mexico,
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny, bro.
Yes.
I enjoyed that right there.
Yes.
But now, the Selección Mexicana, which is who we're here to talk about, the last episode that we did was on the 4th of July, right before the England game. So we talked a little bit about their group stage and how they did. We talked a little bit about how they did against Ecuador. All of this was great. The stats were good. They didn't get scored on. You know, they won every single one of these games. You know, they'd never come out, at least in our lifetime, they hadn't come out with 9 points, being in first place, scoring what it was at 6 goals, not being scored on, you know, and then going into the next round, winning that game 2-0 very convincingly against Ecuador. Just all of that, adds up to something. I like that right there. But then you go against England. When we first talked about this, you guys were saying like, okay, we're going up against England. Yeah, we're supposed to lose this game, but it better not be a blowout. It better be a close game. You know, that's what you guys were saying, and you were like, as long as that happens, I'm giving them a standing ovation. You know, my question to you is, now that game is over, and the way that we took that 3-2 loss, do you guys feel, first, just about the England game in general, do you feel good about that game? And then after the England game, do you feel good about the World Cup run? Them being eliminated in the round of 16. Yes, it was a quinto partido, but we can argue, like, was it really? How do you guys feel about Mexico overall now that it's all said and done?
For me, bro, it's I know if you just see the score line, it says 3-2. But if you look at the goals, I didn't give them a standing ovation, bro. I didn't, because that's what's keeping Mexico from being the 10th, 15th, whatever ranked FIFA team, as opposed to a 6th, 5th, 4th, if ever, you know, because they're too innocent, bro. They're too innocent. That it was the same goal. It was the same goal. It was the same play. And then the play where Machin messes up and then Tala has to come out, and it's a combination of mistakes. It's like those are preventable. All 3 goals were preventable for me, you know. And then in the span of a minute and a half or 2 minutes, the first 2 goals is like, nah, man, not like that. Not like that.
Mexico's not.
I'm still hurt.
They're not big enough to win those games in those moments. You know, I don't know what it is. A mindset, mentality, skill level. Like, what is it? I thought that they made enough noise, as well as England not looking too sharp going up to that game, for us for Mexico to have lost the way that they did. You know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't have happened, but it did, and that to me is typical Mexico. And I hate to say it like that, but it's typical Mexico. So I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying. I feel like it could have been better, but I'm also like, yeah, I mean, what more do we expect? You know what I mean? What more do we expect? And before I get too deep into why I think that is, how did you feel about it?
Same. I mean, the whole game, I felt like we were gonna win. You know, just because of the way that they were playing and going into this game, and then those 2 goals. Even after the 2 goals right away, I still felt like, oh, we're gonna tie, and
yeah, like, we still got it. We still got it.
You know, but it is that mistake, that 3rd goal, the mistake. You know, because they get a red card, and then they end up getting a penalty to score the 3rd goal. You know, I think that mistake was crucial.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't one of those, oh, the ref fucked up, or he didn't call this, or he didn't call that. You know,
that was Mexico who lost it.
It was just us like losing it. You know.
Yeah, bro.
And to an extent, yeah, like what you say is like that's what separates like the bigger teams. You know.
Yeah.
Like, just you gotta fucking be dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the whole 90 minutes, and I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, they would have tied, and then they probably would have won that game.
Yeah, bro.
And that's why it hurts, because like the way that they were playing, like this game, they could have won it.
They looked good for portions of the game. They did look good for a lot of portions of the game.
And England didn't look like England.
Yeah, right.
They didn't look like they were going to attack and they were going to score more goals.
Yeah, exactly.
All the goals that they scored were our mistakes.
Exactly.
I mean, he started to the coach Tuchel started to make subs all defenders.
Yeah.
So if Mexico would have just scored another one, got into extra time, that could have worked out in our favor, man.
Yep.
And so it's bad enough that they scored 2 goals on us in less than a fucking minute.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that they get a red card.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, that they give up a PK after England getting a red card.
Yeah.
That's already bad enough as it is. That's already leaving a sour taste in the mouth. But what pisses me off the fucking most is that in the last 10 minutes, where England was like, here, you take the ball, Mexico, you take it. And Mexico had the ball to go and just create, put balls in the box, go just try some shit. They kept turning the ball over.
Yeah.
All the short, close passes to give, all the centros they try to give, shots they try to take, they just kept turning the ball over.
And then also the cambios that Aguirre made, like they weren't good cambios.
And that's
They were
something.
not good cambios.
That's
bro.
something that I
Bro.
wanted to talk about right there.
If you're Tuchel and you see him taking out, if you see Aguirre taking out Quiñones, you're like, oh, all right.
Cool.
I guess
I'm all right.
I think that just made it easier for us. Like,
Yeah.
I think we got this.
So,
Like you, if anything, you in those type of games, you put hombre por hombre in midfield and defense, right? If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna like change anything, that's what you're gonna do. But for the majority of the time, you're gonna put fucking forward-minding fucking players, like players that are gonna go forward, you know, and try to score a goal.
and-
and not take them off if you have a man.
Yeah, like okay, you took off Quiñones and you took off Morita. Bro, those two
creators.
were the ones that were doing everything.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Threats.
Yeah.
Threats. And then you put Memo in. Okay, fine, Memote. But then all your
Yeah,
crosses
there's
are
no
going to the
there's no
second
reason.
row.
What's
In
the
the
point?
like, dude, like,
What's
There's
the
no
fucking point?
Does anybody know how to
bro.
cross?
There's
Like, what's going on here?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, Gallardo, he could have taken out Gallardo and put in fucking Tilon.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
Del
'Cause
Chavez.
he showed
Hombre
Yes.
por hombre.
that the game
Yes.
before against
You
Czech
know?
Republic. He showed
You
that.
Yes.
So
Or take out another midfield, add a forward, and then take out a lateral, and then add a defender, just so you
Yes.
could still be solid with like 3
Yeah.
defenders or something. You know,
because England
But, like,
stopped attacking
come
you,
on,
dude.
bro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they
you
didn't
could
want the ball. Like
sacrifice.
they literally dropped.
Yeah.
They parked the bus.
Yeah.
and
know?
and Mexico just didn't know what to do with that, bro. And so here's what I was gonna say. I actually wrote it down because I didn't want to forget to talk about Javier Aguirre. I give Javier Aguirre a lot of credit. He did very good in this Mundial, but in both a positive and a negative way, Javier Aguirre is the reason they made it as far as they did. Again, that's in a positive and a negative way. So he's also the reason they only made it as far as they did, though.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like they did really well building up to the game against England, but then the cambios that he made just showed like, oh,
You know what I
Aguirre,
feel?
like
I think it was those were his cambios.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel
100%.
like Rafa was telling him something else,
know.
and then this fool was just like, nah, it's okay. Like, let's do
This is my
and
Mundial,
Rafa
bro.
was just like, if we could have done this and this, it would have been different.
Yes, bro.
I think
You know?
it's one dimensional to think I'm just gonna put Memote in the box because he's a
Yeah,
big
bro,
ass fool.
like, that doesn't
That's
make
not
any
enough.
sense. That doesn't make any
Especially
sense.
against England.
They have 3
Yeah.
big fools. So
Exactly.
That's what I'm
what?
saying. Like,
Right. So I would have
that
put in.
nullifies that plan. Like
I would have
nah,
put in
bro.
someone like Hormiga, who's not a big fool,
Yeah.
but who can sneak in behind him,
Exactly.
make some kind of movement, put
Sure.
the ball drops, and then boom, he
Sure.
scores. Like that's the kind
like
of player we needed right there.
Yeah, if you're gonna put two forwards, but also have like a midfielder,
A playmaker.
Yeah, a playmaker, right? Somebody that's gonna put in, that's gonna make those forward runs, and that's gonna put those balls in.
And it's simple, bro.
It's not rocket
So it's
not
frustrating.
rocket science. And
Exactly.
then this was like, he's
So-
overthinking it. It's just like, bro, like,
So Tuchel
Come
was
on.
like, all right, bro, I'm going to give you the ball. You're going to cross and then try to win a header against my 3 giants.
Yeah.
You're not going
didn't
to.
make any
No.
sense.
You only have 1 giant.
You have Memote, and he's not even a good giant, bro. He's not even good.
Exactly.
Like the fuck.
Bro, I would have even been okay if he would have put Orbelin.
Orbelin to try to be a little
Playmaker.
little amague, little something.
bro.
Yeah.
Something.
Something they haven't seen.
You know?
Yeah.
And you fools are going to hate me for this, bro. But their next game, they did the same thing
And they got scored on.
and they got scored on.
Yeah.
With a better team, Argentina. Because
Yeah.
Argentina's like, oh, dude, we're not Mexico. You can't do this
Yeah.
against us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
We'll
that
show
little
you.
thing you're doing, that's not going to work against us. Watch. And they gave the game to Argentina. They gave them the win because they had them.
It's because they know, and the cambios, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't take out Quiñones and you don't take out Mora in
no.
that game.
At least not that soon.
You don't
At
take
least
no,
not
no,
that
no. You
soon.
don't take them out at all.
Look who Argentina threw in, bro.
Because once
Argentina
they scored that
threw
once they scored that third goal, they
you
just
need
dropped.
something. Yeah, you
They
need
dropped.
something to get you forward.
You know?
Yeah, bro.
There's also something that England was not looking too good at, and Mexico was looking good at, where not even in the game, just the build up to that game, England didn't look that good building out from the back, and Mexico looked really good pressing up high. They were doing really good there. And I think that England decided, you know what, we're not going to try to build out on a goal kick. We're just going to go long. Their center backs will fuck up. We'll get it to Harry Kane. Ball land to Jude Bellingham. Ball land somewhere. And it fucking worked.
It was the same play, bro.
And it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It worked. How does Aguirre not adjust something? Or even more so, how do the center backs or our defensive mids not read that? It happened every fucking time.
They're looking at each other like, that's your guy. No, that's your guy.
Exactly. How stupid, bro. Bro. Did you not? Yeah. I feel like you don't even need to train that.
Bro, that's their best player, Jude Bellingham. Mark him, bro.
Yeah. Get a body on him. Get a body on Harry Kane.
That's all you have to worry about. Just him.
The space between the
Lito
two
was trying to do that, but nobody else was helping him.
It didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work. And then when Edson got in, he was misreading those balls even more.
When he put it Edson, it didn't make no sense.
No,
I mean, Montes got injured, so whatever. I get it. Like, you kind of had no choice. But I didn't like how Edson played. I don't. So much so that I'm like, you know what? This next cycle, which we'll talk about right now, I'm okay if you don't call Edson for a little bit, bro. Like, don't take him for the first few games. I'm okay with that shit, you know? I was so disappointed in him, even though I've never been a big fan of his. Even with that, I was still disappointed in him because, like, come on, Edson. Like, how do you misread that header so badly for the ball to land between the center backs and the keeper? Where the keeper's stuck in no man's land. Yeah, motherfucker.
When that's one of his strengths.
That's one of his fucking strengths, bro.
You know?
And, like, you just fucked that up.
I don't know what he was thinking, you know? Like,
No,
he literally saw the ball and then he was just like, "Oh shit!"
They got lost in the lights or something, bro. Because I'm trying to make sense of it because that was ridiculous right there, man. I was very disappointed in Machin in just in the World Cup in general, bro. You know, even the game where he played after Cesar Montes got the red.
Right.
Even then, I was like, "You did fine, dude, but you didn't do anything extra." Like, I hate when people try to compare him to like a Busquets, or people try to say that he's.
Nobody says that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, especially Americanistas.
Nobody says that.
Everybody says that because they play him. They play him as a defensive mid. You know what? I have to go through the archives because I think you've even said that, where you've said he's like a Busquets because he's shaped like Busquets and he plays that defensive mid. People think like you could just do that.
Go through the archives.
I will. I have to bring it up, bro, because
I don't think anybody's ever said
nobody's ever said that ever.
100%. 100%. I've heard people say that, and I think that's what made me hate him more.
Yes.
I think you can't have him there. He's not good. He's not good with the ball at his feet. Like, he's probably better as a center back, and even then, we just saw the results of that, like of him playing center back. I don't know. I was very upset about that.
But then also too, he wasn't having enough playing time for him.
Fenerbahce.
He lost it because he got hurt.
He got injured.
Yeah, so it's not like he's in shape and form or whatever. Bro.
Now I wonder if Israel Reyes would have played instead of Edson in the second half, if that would have made a difference. Maybe
Why
not.
wouldn't you put him?
I think he should have. I think he was just.
If Montes got hurt, why wouldn't you put fucking Reyes?
Because you got Edson.
The thing is, like, okay, if you're gonna go with that plan, right? Fine. You have to go with Alexis Vega. Because the way Turco uses Alexis Vega is
or put
crosses.
He didn't
all
play.
day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have been okay if he would have put Alexis, he would have put Orbelin. Just a fucking forward.
The playmaker.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah.
But Alexis gives great crosses in Toluca.
That's what I'm saying,
like if your game plan now became, Argentina, England just is sitting back and they're going to allow us to cross. I need a good crosser. Alexis Vega.
If you're going to take out fucking Quinones, then put in fucking Vega.
Like you said, man for man, position for position. That's him. That's right there. Boom.
That's all you need.
If you have Gallardo crossing to the second row, Brian Gutierrez to the second row this way, like they're not crossing, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to fucking overcomplicate it.
You didn't need to take off Mora that soon or at all, like you said.
At all,
bro. There's a point where Quinones
18, bro. He could play 3 games in a row.
He actually made a mistake that led to the goal, but because he's 17, that's okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm okay with that. Like, make your mistakes, big boy.
He was due, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everything up to that point is not normal for an 18-year-old. So you were due a mistake,
and that's okay. You learn from that. You know, he's gonna be around. Hopefully,
you would have kept him. You would have kept kept him in, he would have made up for the fucking mistake.
Yes, because he has that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Quiñones against England, there's something that he does. He comes low to receive and then turn. England didn't let him do that. But that's not the only facet of his game. You know, he scored that fucking goal to give us life right after the 2-0.
Exactly.
He gave us the goal and like, oh shit, we're in it.
Exactly.
So he could do other things.
He's a goal scorer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so how does it make sense to take out the guy that's scoring for you, you know? Like, how does that make sense, man?
Yeah, bro.
I think Aguirre was just trying to give his players playtime, not the time to do that. Not the time to do that,
I'm
bro.
saying those cambios, they were all wrong.
Yeah.
All of them, bro.
All of them, bro.
Santi
Wrong.
Jimenez, Brian Gutierrez, Memote.
No.
What are you doing, dude? Those are your first 3
Every
subs.
time he made a sub and I saw who was going on,
I was like, not right now,
no,
dude.
that does not make any sense.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
So Aguirre is the reason that they made it as far, and Aguirre is the reason they made it as far, and it ain't go further.
Bro.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
sure. But I mean, like Santi, like trying to pick a fight, like, bro, that's not even you, bro. Like, you're not even that.
And he ended up
getting hurt, bro.
Yeah.
They were down
Like,
to
that's
10
not
men
even
at the
you,
end.
bro.
I mean, who knew that he would have gotten hurt, right? But also Santi, even when he out of the 3 forwards, the 3 secondary forwards, Hormiga, Memote, and Santi, I feel like Santi was the one doing the least and the one getting in the most, you know, obviously because he's Santi, plays at a higher level, so Aguirre's like, let me get this guy in, but he never did anything.
He should have left Raul.
He should have left Raul, or he should have put Hormiga in, bro.
No, he should have left Raul. He should have put in Hormiga. He shouldn't have taken out Mora or
Quiñones. Yeah, that was crazy.
He should have took out Gallardo and put in probably Alexis Vega or Mateo Chavez.
Oh yeah, that's the one I wanted to see more.
And
Mateo Chavez.
Romo. He should have took out Romo. He should have put Fidalgo, or he should have put Orbelin.
Yeah. Although I would have thought like.
And then for Montes, he should have put Israel Reyes.
Yeah, that should have been the sub. I would have thought Fidalgo is a little small for that game, but he's still a playmaker.
Jorge Sanchez started that game.
He started and played, I think, the whole game, bro. I don't remember if he got subbed out or not.
He should have just left.
Piojo, drop into that spot, bro, and then let's get another forward in or another midfielder in, you know, or something like that. Like I don't know, man,
because they're not attacking anymore.
Exactly. And Jorge Sanchez got the shit kicked out of him by what was the winger name? The fool that was fucking him up the whole time.
Kwanzaa or some shit?
No,
maybe?
it was a white fool.
Oh, Gordon.
Gordon just burned.
That motherfucker was fast.
He is fast as fuck, but like even if he plays Reyes, he would have got burned too. But like he was getting smoked the whole time, bro.
He would like catch up, you know.
Yeah, I think so. He probably wouldn't even have gone forward as much. He would have stayed a little more back and waited for him. I thought that was crazy. I also hated that Reyes didn't play anymore, but you know, I digress.
It still hurts me because they could, like I said, they could have won this game.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, and
it's a game that they could have won.
If they would have beaten England, they got Norway next. That would have been tough in itself, 100%. But I feel like if you beat England, bro, you're in it to win it now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can make a fucking Final Four, Final Two run, championship run. You could actually make that shit, dude.
For sure.
And then, like, at home, sure they would have played in the U.S. the last couple games, but they would have been home still. That would have been a big difference right there, bro. I don't know. It's so I'm with you guys. Like, in the beginning, you were saying, hey, they lose 2-1 to England. I'm still going to give them a standing ovation for what they did. But then you go and you see the actual game, and now you're like,
how they lost.
Yeah.
Like, just you letting up those 2 goals and then giving up a PK after a red card.
Silly.
Dude, once England got the red card, I was like, oh, like this is where we want to be. And 2 seconds later, boom, PK. God damn it, dude. That was such bullshit. And then the cambios and then just a culmination of things just showed me like, all right, this is typical of Mexico, bro. Of course they're gonna drop the ball. Was it a good game? Yes. Was it like a fairly good performance from Mexico? Sure, but this was
as a neutral. Yeah,
exactly. But you also like neutrals were telling me like, dude, that was a great game, and sure it was, but I'm like, as a Mexicano, bro,
it was a good game as a Mexicano. Yeah, it was, but it's just that the way that they lost. That's what it was like. Fuck, you know.
To me, it's like,
and to an extent, okay, yes, you're gonna blame Aguirre for all the cambios that you did, but at the end of the day, the players, They fucking did whatever they fucking
like I said,
do.
The last 10 minutes really pissed me off because of how much they turned it over.
Yeah.
That's not Aguirre's fault. That part is not Aguirre's fault. That part of it.
For sure.
Gallardo losing the balls, the midfield losing the balls, like
sure.
our center backs playing some stupid passes. Like, that's not on him, you know, but had he managed the game a little better, maybe we wouldn't have seen all those stupid ass passes being made and shit like that.
Exactly, bro.
You know,
the crosses. You know, like
I would have taken Gallardo out a long time ago. Not because we dislike him, but because you just look at what he's doing.
Yeah.
Look at what he's doing.
You're not getting it. You're not
getting it.
Like this is a knockout game. So like, don't wait. Like act now. Like change it.
Let's
change
go.
it.
Let's go.
You know, the goal that knocked out England, bro. The goal that Messi takes on the guy. Forget the guy's name. Crosses with his right when they Lautaro with the header.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Mexico can do that play. That's not like an otherworldly magical play from Messi. It's just a simple take on you real quick, cross, and then header. Yeah. Mexico has that in them.
Piojo can give that cross.
Piojo could have given that
Mora could give that cross. Jimenez could get on the end of that. Hormiga could get on the end of that. Santi could get on the end of that. Like, we could do that too, bro. Why couldn't we fucking do it that game?
So the last 15, 20 minutes were just, like you said, erroneous passes, long crosses, nowhere to nobody. Like, bro, easy balls for the goalie to come out and get.
That's Mexico.
Like, bro, that's
Mexico for you.
Not doing anything with that,
No gameplay, no idea.
Yeah,
nothing,
take them to the end line, cross it, like, surprise them, do something.
But that leads me into not the next segment just yet. I just have to say, we have another video where we talk about the changes that we would make if we were in charge of the Federación Mexicana. You know, and this right here will tell you. I mean, if you remember, I was telling you guys, like, dude, just getting out of the group stage would be success. If you remember me saying that, because where Mexico is right now, where the federation has taken Mexico right now, we don't have promotion relegation. We make it practically impossible for our fucking players to go to Europe. Like, Luis Chavez had to buy his fucking exit clause. Huescas just won his court case because Cruz Azul was suing him for going to Europe. My dogs, what the fuck are we talking about right now? The U.S. has like 40 players out in Europe right now. If we could just do that for Mexico, I guarantee you we'd be ahead of USA without question. Right now, you can say the U.S. is better, Mexico's better, and it's like there's a question. But I think if Mexico had 40 players out there in Europe right now, I don't think there's a fucking question about it. I think you would see those results right now, you know? And the Federación just passed that promotion relegation, not going to happen. You know, none of our players since the World Cup have gotten any real offers to any European teams. You know, and if they did, they've been rechazados. They've been rejected. So nobody's going out to Europe right now.
And here's something that I was thinking about, bro, with this World Cup. How many teams are looking at the Cabo Verdes and thinking,
we could pick that guy up.
We could pick that. We could do something. How old is he? 22. We could shape and mold him. You know, and he's gonna accept 800,000. Like, he's gonna take it, bro.
Not even $1 million, bro.
Not even $1 million. Yeah.
You see,
and to him, it's like,
let's go.
You know,
bro.
You know what I mean? Like that, so I think it's gonna be even harder, bro, because these Mexican players have such a high salary, bro, that they're like, we're not gonna pay that for Lira, bro.
No, for sure.
Like,
we're not gonna pay
Lira's
that
the next one to go out right now.
Yeah,
and he's fighting against that. His price tag.
Also, Israel Reyes, who's been, you know, like these two, just to name two, two of them right there.
You're
you know,
you're right.
And I think I'm hoping Lira. I mean, we have until September, I think.
Yeah.
Lira might still make it. Israel Reyes, like Roma wanted him, and it sounds like they already signed a center back and a right back. So, like, those are the two positions Reyes would have played. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? The Federación, what are we doing right now?
Business.
I was hoping that we showed enough to be like, all right. We're right here. Why don't we just make a few changes? Why don't we just send a few players to Europe so that we can be here next? I mean, we've all said it, but I've heard you say it a lot. Like, dude, in the long run, that's going to win you more money.
Yes.
Sending players out there looking a lot better.
Yes.
Winning more trophies, like making further runs in World Cup. That's going to make you more money in the long run. Why don't you just fucking do it? And because we haven't made any of these fucking changes that we've talked about, bro, I don't know what we could even expect moving forward. You know, like, Rafa's going to make the team play good, and let's say that happens, but because Mexico doesn't have that mentality or that mindset, there's only so much Rafa can do.
Yeah.
What if
there's only so far they can
Exactly.
go.
The next World Cup, we should not be expecting anything better than what we saw this World Cup, you know? And this World Cup, as good as we did in the group stage, I don't think is enough, shouldn't be enough for people to forget what every World Cup has been, at least since we've been alive, bro. You know, don't forget that shit, bro.
They literally the same.
The same every fucking time. Result. It's been the same. With the coach that's an extranjero, with the coach that's Mexican, none of that shit matters. We've not gotten any further because there's a ceiling that we've put on ourselves, and until we can remove that ceiling and make this shit a 3-story building, we're not gonna go anywhere, bro. You know what I mean? So at the end of it, I like that Mexico played with balls, sure, but I don't like that Mexico didn't go any further. But I blame the players, I blame the coach, sure, but more than anybody, I blame the federation who is in charge of Mexican development, Mexican football players' development, because they don't care about development. They're caring only about business right now.
Yeah,
it's a business.
Business.
And I think that's the hard part. Now, speaking about all this, we do have to get into it though. Rafa Marquez is next. The World Cup is over. It's a new cycle. Rafa Marquez has been at the Sub-20 CONCACAF games. I don't know if you guys have seen. And they're doing pretty decent right now. They got some good players. Camberos and Santi Sandoval are the two that are really showing up right now though. They just beat Panama 4-0, which is crazy because the Sub-23 are playing in the Juegos Centroamericanos right now, and they just beat Panama in the semifinals too 4-0. It's pretty crazy how that happened, and they're doing decently as well. They're both about to play in the final. Mexico's already in the World Cup for the Sub-20 going into 2027, but if they win the final, they're making it to the Olympics, and I hope that they can do that. Having said all this, yes, Rafa Marquez is there. He's watching, so I'm assuming he's thinking about bringing in some youngsters.
He has to.
But before we get into the specifics, which player this, which player that, why don't you fools tell me really quickly, what do you think Rafa Marquez in the next 4 years needs to do for you guys to say that's a success? He needs to be there for the next 4 years, possibly even 8 years for 2 World Cups. What does Rafa Marquez need to do for it to be a success? And what needs to happen for it to be a failure?